They better not ever bring Kennedy back for any show. Any show. Like, she is a loser. An absolute loser. Caribbean did her thing. I don't care if she did get nice. Like, we know she can fight. And when it comes to people that only know how to street fight, when you got somebody who's really trying to box you in, sometimes shit like this happens. But she got her lick back, and we're going to get to it at the end. But if y'all are new here, subscribe, thumbs up the video, drop the comments down below, share the video. And yeah, this is the finale. We got the reunion next. I don't know when it's coming because they didn't drop it at the end of the episode or at least show us teaser. But I'll be here for that. But make sure to do what I said and let's get into this video. All right, so we get back where we essentially left off. But they started off with Snow, Bleu, and Hennessy having their little sit down. And Hennessy is pretty much claiming like her problem with Snow is the fact that she felt like whenever she asked Snow that question, she felt like Snow was saying something different and was trying to be funny, stating that she snuck her. It's not stating that she wasn't trying to be funny. She just gave you the truth. You didn't like the fact that she gave you the whole truth. You wanted her to state what you wanted her to say, which was leave out the fact that you literally hit Zaniyah from the back. You wanted to make it seem like you ran up on Zaniyah and you swung on her first. Yeah, you swung on her first, but you snuck her, which is what Snow said. And so Snow said, I pretty much said the truth. Like, you hit her from the back. I wasn't trying to be funny. But Hennessy then states that she was irritated because she had kicked her in the lip on the yacht instead of getting the head up. And Snow was like, on the bus, you literally stated when we was talking about it, we could have a conversation. But yet on the boat, you claimed that you needed that. I heard you talking and saying my name. You said I'm always in everything, so that's why I hit you. Snow's not wrong in any of the situation when it comes to Hennessy. But they then start talking about the night that they had fought off camera. And Snow was like, once Hennessy had given her condolences, they left it alone. But once she had got on the phone with her sister, pretty much talking about Kennedy, telling Kennedy to dance, and Hennessy claims that she thought that she heard her name. Hennessy said, like, I was thinking that you just lost one of your people and you sitting here popping it. Because you sitting here starting with her, like, you know she just lost her people. So why are you sitting here bothering her? If she literally just lost her people, obviously she's going to be on edge. Obviously, you know y'all really don't fuck with each other for real, for real. Y'all dead at the issue probably for that moment. So why would you still be around her? I don't get that. But Snow then states that you were, when you mentioned the dead homie shit, you basically triggered me. So that's why I did what I did. And Hennessy then pretty much asked, like, if she wants to fight, we can fight. And Snow says, yeah, let's do it. So she goes and takes her rings off. And Snow said essentially the conversation was bullshit. She didn't react the way that she did with Hennessy for no reason. Basically, I did what I did because you did what you did. But they square up. They went 3 rounds. I'm going to break them all down. Hennessy, in my opinion, she got, well, I mean, it's obvious. In the first 2 rounds, Hennessy won. But we'll get to it. Hennessy got Snow on the ground. She got a couple licks in. Snow was like, let's run it again. Let's run it again. Round 2, Snow said, like, don't kick. Because Hennessy ended up kicking first to then get her punches off on Snow. And they start circling around. Hennessy then swings. They start arm wrestling it at one point, but Hennessy ends up punching Snow into the bushes. Now, that's 2-0 for Hennessy to Snow 0. But Hennessy then states that she ain't going to keep fighting her because she got another fade to run. Remember, she said that. But they start going back and forth again. In this moment, I wrote in parentheses, I don't care. Like, I don't care. But they run around 3. Round 3, they were in the grass for real. Because the first 2 rounds, they was like on the cobblestone. They was in the grass on this round. And in my opinion, Snow got that one. Snow easily got that one. She got way more licks in on her compared to what Hennessy was doing to her in that round. So, all in all, it was 2-1. Hennessy got the first 2. Snow got the last one. Snow feels like Ferrari is a fake-ass host because after the fight, she in the room with Snow pretty much talking to her. And Snow pretty much states like Ferrari's a fake-ass host because production came in pretty much checking in on her whenever they found out that her family or her friend had passed away. Yet Ferrari was not even checking in on her, did not check in on her regardless when it came to her friend because everybody knew that her friend passed. She didn't have the decency to come check up on her, yet you sitting up in my face after a fight. I was fully on Snow's side. She said, I also don't understand why she's the host because she don't give young and reckless. It just gives a prissy white bitch. I said, Snow been clocking her all season. From episode 1, she was calling Ferrari out. And she was clocking her, and she did. But Caribbean's back at the house, ready to rumble. And Hennessy comes walking in, and Hennessy says she's not fighting Caribbean right now. She gonna have to wait. Remember, she said that. I'm not fighting her right now. She gonna have to wait. Caribbean says, okay, so where's your friend at? Tell her to come outside. So Hennessy's in the room with Kayla and Nug. And Nug is pretty much telling Kayla that Caribbean's outside by the door. So Kayla gets up and says that she wants to fight. She opens up the door. Caribbean's get restrained by security, but she eventually gets through. She walks up and Caribbean is posting up. If y'all don't know, go look up Caribbean's fights. Caribbean boxed, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. She has so. If y'all don't know, I box. I trained. I boxed. I haven't boxed for real. Like, I haven't had any fights, but I've trained enough. I watch boxing. That is literally one of my favorite sports. I literally watch every fight that comes out every single weekend. So I know good fighting. Watching her fights a couple years ago, she has so much untapped potential. Like, the way she fought in all of those fights, she was dominating a lot of them fights that she was in. Every fight that I've seen on YouTube that she's had boxing, she's won. She has good ring awareness. She knows when to throw the right punches. She actually fights. Like, she don't just be out here pulling hair. So you can tell where she comes from by the way she came up to that door. So she up at that door ready to start throwing them hands for real. So she gets to the door. Kayla starts kicking. And they was actually going blow for blow. Honestly, it was back and forth. They both was knucking and just boom, boom, boom. So Caribbean's head wrap, she has a head wrap on, this is where she went wrong. She shouldn't have had that on. But I see why she did it. She didn't want them to grab her hair. But regardless, you don't do that. So it started coming down. When it came down, Kayla started grabbing her. And then because I guess Caribbean was throwing them hands was throwing, and she ended up getting to Kayla's face. Kayla is biting her finger. That was disgusting to watch. I had to literally go like this and couldn't watch it because she was biting her finger for a good 15 seconds. And you can hear Caribbean, she's biting me. They finally get her finger out of her mouth. Kayla, you nasty, like a carnivore, disgusting. But Nug's weird ass is sitting there cheering her on. In my opinion, that round was a tie. They both were hitting each other equally. So I can't really give anybody that one. It was a clear tie if you asking me, because they both was hitting each other a good amount of times. But Kayla is feeling herself. Caribbean's like, I got a hole in my finger. She thugging it out though. Caribbean, she gained so much respect for me in these last couple episodes. I've always been probably in her corner. She's a beautiful girl. First of all, you always gonna win with me with that. But to see how she's standing her ground and the way she came on this show and pretty much was like, I'm not going to fight you unless you give me a reason to fight. They gave her a reason to fight, and now she fought. That is me. Like, I've always been that way. I'm not the type of person to fight somebody just to fight. That's why I would never do no show like this, because I'm not fighting just for the sport. You got to give me a reason to fight. And that's what she's doing. But Hennessy now wants to fight now. Now she wants to fight because you just saw your friend bite a hole through this girl's finger. Now you want to fight because now she's weakened. You now want to fight. I said, you a weak ass bitch. Like, what? That is the weakest shit I've ever seen in my life. For Hennessy to pop it the way she do, you weak for that. Like, you weak. And Caribbean was like, oh, so now you want to. Yeah, I'd let you wait, but I got you. So Caribbean clocked how pussy she is because she now wants to fight me because now my finger is big. Now you want to fight me. But Hennessy sitting there running her mouth talking about how she ain't gonna keep waiting on people to run fades, yet you wanted Caribbean to wait on you to run that fade. Like, be for real. But we get Legacy and Sai sit down. We're going to breeze through this. They pretty much was talking about season 1 shit. They deaded it because Legacy there's no point for me to keep fighting and beating you up. There's no point for that. They shake it out. We move on. Hennessy and Caribbean, they have their first round. First round, Hennessy starts kicking. And they out here in the grass. I'm not fighting in the grass either. Because what Caribbean stated is how I think when it comes to fighting. If I'm going to fight you, we fighting on some surface where I have a way to grip the ground and get some plant my feet for real. So Caribbean was going overhand. She was throwing that overhand right. And Hennessy got the uppercutting and grabbing her hair. That's where them lumps came from. Because Hennessy claims that she ain't fighting no more after it. Caribbean got up. She got 2 big golf balls right up here, which, I mean, it is what it is. Like, she didn't get beat up, but she definitely got some golf balls right there. But Caribbean said the same thing that I did. Fighting on the grass is for bitches that can't fight. Like, let's keep it real. Caribbean was trying to box. That's just really what it was. But Kayla, she over there foaming out the mouth, pumping Hennessy up. She feels so good because she got them lumps. We're going to talk about it in a minute. Are you really feeling that good now? But Kayla has the nerve to start calling Caribbean dirty, talking about her body. Caribbean is bad as fuck. Like, bad as fuck. Her body still looks good even after she had that baby. That apparently she just had that baby before she came to film the season, and she still looked good. I'm trying not to talk about women's bodies as a man, but like you talking about somebody's body when yours looks the way it does, crazy. Talking about dirty, you don't look the cleanest. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. Hold on, let me fix this. But Hennessy is now running her mouth, sitting here. Let me make sure that's okay. It's recording. Hennessy sitting there running her mouth, talking about Caribbean can't fight, but got a mean scrub. Okay. You get in the gloves. When you get in the gloves, let's see if you can really fight. Like, sitting here street fighting and trying to tell somebody who can really box that they can't fight. You found out, and you found out. But Legacy and Zaniyah, they have a sit down, and they pretty much squashed their beef. Zaniyah was pretty much stating, like, I pretty much owed her that conversation because I did attempt to swing on her. But Zaniyah pretty much stated, like, I didn't want you to feel like Ferrari sicked me on you, which is what she did. But Legacy states, like, Ferrari pretty much tried to get Kayla to fight me, but she be playing both sides, trying to victimize herself, which is exactly what she does. And Legacy was like, I mean, you shouldn't have been checking me about shit that you didn't know, which is the truth. But Zaniyah states that Legacy had a point, that Ferrari do be victimizing herself, and had her feeling like that's what she was doing and felt like she was a victim in that situation. But she apologized for it. Zaniyah, I didn't like that Zaniyah did that. I didn't like it at all. I still don't like it to this day. But Zaniyah got redeeming qualities to me. So I'm happy that she did apologize. So Legacy appreciated it as well. They move on. From that. Zaniyah pretty much states she had to see for herself what Ferrari is, and she is two-faced as fuck. She is. But Zaniyah has to sit down with Snow, Hennessy, and Kennedy. Snow brought them three together considering everything that's going on with them. So Zaniyah pretty much states that they tried to make her out, talking about Sai and Kennedy, tried to make her out to be some type of liar when what she said was what they said. And I do believe that I believe they said what she said. But Sai claims that she mixed up their words. Sai ends up stating that Zaniyah then says that y'all said that y'all was going to get Hennessy while I go get Kayla. And she didn't change her words. That's what she said earlier in the season. Sai says you said get. Get and jump are two different things. Not to me. If two of y'all are stating that y'all going to get one person, what does that mean? Like, we're not going to play words with friends. And Snow pretty much stated the same thing. On the East Coast, get means get and jump. It's not even that. If two people are stating they're going to get one person, what does that mean? Y'all are going to jump her. Like, come on. It's not hard to put two and two together. If y'all ain't going to jump her, y'all going to tag team her. It's basically the same difference. But they claim that it means two different things on different coasts. Zaniyah says it was not a miscommunication. I took it how I took it because that's what y'all said. And Zaniyah states that they definitely said that they was going to get up and get Hennessy while she was getting Kayla. Kennedy is claiming that Zaniyah is lying. They start going back and forth. And it's funny that Kennedy talking about somebody lying when you lie every single time. You've lied the entire season. Like in the confessionals, off the screen, on these little YouTube panels that you've been doing on TikTok, just lying. Podcast, lying. But Sai ends up getting up because Zaniyah asked them, what do y'all want to do? Do y'all want to fight at this point? We know they don't want to fight. But Sai gets up and walks away. Kennedy's sitting there saying, you just fight them yourself. Go fight them yourself. You don't want to fight them. You don't even want to fight her. Zaniyah says, I can fight them, bitch, and I have. So shut the fuck up. And we all know that. Zaniyah is not scared to fight. Zaniyah has fought those two girls that are double her size and has hung in there with both of them. Busted Kayla's lip. Kayla's lip been busted for the entire season because of Zaniyah. Like, stop, Kennedy. You the last one to be talking about telling somebody to fight. You only fought Alexis. And you only fought Key because Key snuck you. You fought Alexis because you thought you was going to beat her and got your ass beat. Like, be for real. But her and Zaniyah start going back and forth because Kennedy gets up and walks away and continues to run her mouth. Zaniyah is sitting there telling her that you only tough when you're around other bitches and don't be really on that, which is the truth. Zaniyah was clocking her. But Kennedy starts talking tough. Zaniyah takes her wig off, ready to fight. Like, what's up? And Zaniyah was like, do you want to fight? And of course, Kennedy said, no, fight the bitches that want to fight you. No, she's talking to you. You talking that mouth, so run it. Run them hands. But Zaniyah says, yeah, okay, shut up. Like, you don't want to fight. If you don't want to fight, shut up. And it's crazy how they sat there and let that little girl punk them. Like, Zaniyah looks like a little girl, and she is she is punking them. But Zaniyah walks away and says, I'll spit in your face. And Kennedy says, I dare you. I dare you. You ain't going to do nothing about it. You're not going to do nothing about it because Zaniyah will work you. But Nene says in her confessionals that Kennedy is funny, but she don't like how she be turning down Faze. Fact. But production is now screaming for cameras, which I already immediately knew was Caribbean and Hennessy. So Caribbean said them two bitches come out popping it, talking about something, today just ain't your day. So they trying to taunt her. Like, today just ain't your day. Today just ain't your day. even though she got some knots, y'all didn't beat her ass. But somebody got their ass beat right here. But we about to talk about it. Caribbean squares up with Hennessy. And she got her rings on this time. I don't care. Get them on. They want to talk tough, knot them up. Run them down. And she ran Hennessy down. Put her ass on that couch. Security breaks them up, telling her to take them rings off. She said, okay, I'll take them rings off. I don't need them rings. We know she don't need them rings. They square up again. Hennessy starts off getting a hugging. That's how she got them knots on her, because you don't know how to really come from the shoulders. Right, left. Caribbean knows how to do that. And I don't know if she knew she could box her. She probably didn't know that. But Caribbean is ready to box. She ain't trying to grab hair. So Hennessy gets her licks in by holding her. And it went wrong because Caribbean learned from that first time that they fought. Flipped her shit. Got to straight uppercutting. Clean ones. Just boom, boom, boom. Flipped it. Got them overhands. Boom, boom. Then she ended up dropping Hennessy on the ground. Beat her ass. Beat it. Ferrari's face had me laughing because I was like, yeah. And Caribbean got her lick back. She feeling herself talking her shit. Guess who is quiet as a church mouse? Hennessy. She was running that mouth up after that first round, but did not say a word. Caribbean shut her shit up. Kayla's too. Zaniyah said Caribbean just dusted Hennessy. Just dusted her. She got them knots, but she just dusted her. She too big to be on that ground. Caribbean ate that up, and she did. And like I said, Hennessy is quiet as fuck. Caribbean's back in the room popping her shit. She said, you see how God works. You let that loudmouth bitch, Kayla, get in your head, and now you ain't got no twerk for me. Like, what's up? She got her shit back, and I'm proud of Caribbean for that. But male legacy side and Nug, they meet with Ferrari. Ferrari's pretty much asking, what would Y&R be without Mel? Which, good question. And Mel was like, yeah, right. Like, you know, I'm needed here. But she said she's happy to be there. Sai ends up stating that she was excited to see Mel, but the other bitches were scared to see her, which we all know that's probably true. And Ferrari pretty much states that she loves how Mel knows how to turn it on and turn it off. Like, she'll crash out and she'll fight, but she knows how to turn it off because Mel is a grown adult. Like, she's not a weirdo. But Sai then states that Mel might crash out, but she's essentially a good person at the end of the day. And Mel says, yeah, I don't hold grudges, even though she holds one with Ivory, and rightfully so. You throw piss on me, it's going to be beef forever. But she says as soon as she's done, she's done. Like, I'm done with the beef, as we see with Nug. But Ferrari pretty much gives Legacy her props, stating that she wanted to see her without Mel. And it's like, you did see her without Mel in season 1. Mel came in, episode 4? And those first 3 episodes, Legacy was popping her shit. Like, running fades, running them with Ivory. Even though she was getting beat up, she was popping her shit. Like, what do you mean? She's trying to make it seem like Legacy only has energy when she's around Mel. Legacy has been had energy. Like, you a weirdo. But Nug pretty much is talking about how the viewers will get to see a new version of her this season, and she wants them, talking about Sai, to put respect on the new OGs, because Sai was pretty much talking about, like, us as the OGs, we're supposed to be doing this and doing that, talking about her, Legacy, and Mel, since they were all the original OGs on season 1. Nug felt some type of way about it, but Sai and Ferrari pretty much claimed that Nug popped her shit and redeemed herself this season. And they started talking about how this was the best season and gave Bad Girls Club. I don't know what you're talking about. Best season is definitely, in my opinion, it's probably season 1. Season 2, I feel like a lot of people shit on season 2, but I like season 2. I did. Like, that was the season where we got to see Mel in its entirety. From episode, did she come in episode 1? She was there from the beginning. We got to see a full season of her, so I really enjoyed that. But, and the reunion was good. But they start talking about how the new bitches were eating. And I'm like, the only ones that did was Alexis, Lauren, Minnie, Jules, and Caribbean. Those are the only newbies that I would want to see back on another season. But they cheers to going out and whatever. But they get on the bus, and Mel is telling them about how Kennedy and her, they from the same city, Milwaukee, and how Kennedy been trying to shit on her or whatever. And Mel pretty much talked about how she was promoting Kennedy's shit, and Kennedy pretty much tried to dub her and not repost the shit. Yes, she's sitting here following Legacy and reposting other people's shit. So Nug ends up telling Mel that Kennedy was watching her post the entire time they was there. I said, exactly, fanned out. Just exposed how fanned out she is. But they head to this restaurant called Taboo for their final restaurant moment. And Yaz is in the confessional. They doing the outros and stuff. Yaz is literally only a confessional moment. She only has energy in them confessionals. And when she's out of the confessional, she's boring as fuck. Especially if she ain't taking nobody else's beef. But Ferrari ends up asking Kennedy, like, what's your beef with Mel? Kennedy claims that she wanted to have a conversation with Mel. Mel turned the shit down, didn't want to go talk to her. And Kennedy gets in her confessional talking about something, because Mel's a liar and she's scary and somebody needs to go call Ivory. You are the last person to call somebody scary. Mel ain't scared of nobody. Mel ain't scared of nobody. Like, you will never run fades. You're scared. Like, you're the last person to be talking null and void. But they head out to the club for the final scene. Lauren said she was on edge because, I mean, anybody can sneak anybody, but she was dancing with Ferrari. Mel got some rose and started popping her on her head, and we see it. You can tell Mel is drunk, and she having a good old time. She bopping it. And Lauren claims that Minnie had walked by and snuck her. We didn't get to see it, so, I mean, whatever, but Mel's outside. She dancing drunk with security. But Lauren state that she gonna see them bitches at the reunion. Kennedy's punk ass is on the bus running her mouth, claiming that she gonna get somebody to get Mel. Why can't you fight Mel? It's always, I get somebody else. Get somebody. Why don't you fight? You got an issue with her, you fight. Because you know she gonna tear you up. But Mel ended up hitting her in the face with a rose too. So Mel was over there doing what she did. Mel always gives us a show. That was the end of the season. Like I said, the reunion, that's what we have up next. I'm excited to see that in full because they stated that the fades was nice. I'm ready to see Alexis and Lauren. From what Alexis said, she was giving her that work. Alexis ain't lied. She ain't ever lied. Everything she said about this season was shown, and we saw it to be exactly how she stated it. So I don't doubt her. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. Shout out to y'all for joining me this season. This is the first Now That's TV show that I've recapped. It probably will be the last. But if you are here, please subscribe, thumbs up the video, drop your comments down below, subscribe, share, jump in the comments, like the video, and I'll see y'all whenever the reunion drops. Peace.